You're listening to the Gutsy Podcast, where we talk about all things real, raw, and ridiculous about running a business authentically. I'm Laura Wallace, also known as the Laura Aura, lover of all things inspirational, owner of Works Graphic Design, and your host on this journey through entrepreneurship. I'm here to help you get out of your head and back into action as a passionate business rock star. Tune in every Tuesday and Thursday as we fuel your Gutsy. Okay, guys, we talk about learning experiences and mistakes. Today we are going to talk about one of my most iconic mistakes. We're talking about the Maroon Suit. So I worked as a graphic designer for a Yellow Page company, basically the phone book, for about 3 years, which was pretty much the extent of my professional experience. Prior to that, I had worked in a couple of different places like retail and restaurants while I was going to school. And when I started Works, I was 22 with an unborn child, still kind of cooking in my womb, and didn't exactly have the best knowledge or perspective on how to run a business or really to how to look like a professional running a business. So I'm going to date myself a little bit. Back in 2007, sound like an old lady here, we didn't exactly have Alexa or Hey Siri or Hey Google to find answers for the things that we needed. So I wanted to make a really good first impression with my newfound business and as this newfound businesswoman. So I went to Yahoo and I looked up images for what a businesswoman looked like. Most of the images were fairly similar and they resembled the majority of the businesswomen that I personally had come in contact with. So let me paint a picture for you. Picture it, 2007. These businesswomen in the photos were all wearing very tailored, beautiful suits of some sort, whether it was a coat jacket and pants, or it was a blazer and a pencil skirt. Whatever the case may be, there was definitely something that had a collar and definitely something that had a crease down the front of the pant leg. They always had their hair pulled back. Like, I feel like these women in these pictures had headaches because their hair was pulled back so tight into this perfect bun on the back of their head. They wore high heels to coordinate with the color of their suit, and they carried black padfolios or briefcases. So I figured if this is typically how I saw people in real life dressing, and clearly if it's on the internet, it must be true, this is how it was done. So I headed to Walmart to find the perfect outfit to make my meeting debut. Walmart had a really great professional section of clothing at a really affordable rate for a very young entrepreneur that needed to look pretty awesome but didn't really have a whole lot of cash. So I looked through a few racks, tried on a few things, and oh gosh, guys, then I found it. I found the perfect outfit to make my businesswoman debut. This is what I call the Maroon Suit. It was so beautiful. It was fully equipped with a blazer and a pencil skirt. And when I tried it on and looked in the mirror in the dressing room at Walmart, I felt like $1,000,000 freaking bucks. I thought, oh my God, this is how successful women dress. And now I am one of them. I found a white blouse that matched it perfectly. I had a pair of high heels at home, and I just felt like I was the shit. So it came time for my next meeting, and I was excited out of my mind. I took my freshly pressed suit off of the hanger. I pulled my hair back in the tightest bun that I could do, and put on my black heels, and I took out my nose ring. I grabbed my leather padfolio that was fully equipped with a legal pad and a calculator that was built in and a little sleeve where I could put papers, and I had a little insert for my business cards. And I felt like I was ready to take on the meeting world. If every other successful businesswoman looked like this, then I I clearly was on the right path to be one of those women as well. It only took about 6 or 7 meetings, maybe not even that many, to make me start really thinking about this suit. First of all, I had one. I didn't really have a whole lot of cash to have like a closet full of different suits. Like maybe this could be not just the maroon suit, but the navy suit and the emerald suit story. But I literally had one suit, and it's what I wore to every single meeting. While there are a ton of gorgeous women who can rock the business suit like nobody else's business, I quickly found out that this wasn't exactly my favorite thing in the entire world. First of all, something started just to kind of feel off. I hate pantyhose, so I wore pantyhose with the suit every time. I don't even really like the color maroon, quite honestly, at all. And pencil skirts, just quite frankly, are not my thing. I started to hate this damn suit. This very same suit that I once felt on top of the world about, now I started to kind of honestly resent it. The very first thing that I did when I got home was pull my hair out of that insane bun. I would rip that suit off faster than I could get it on. I would unroll pantyhose. And let's just talk about pantyhose for a hot second. This is me personally, but I do not feel like $1,000,000 when I'm putting those things on because I'm rolling them up my leg and I got this whole pop and fresh thing going on. And I'm pretty confident in my body and my body type, but there's just nothing that putting on pantyhose makes me feel like a rock star about. So I'd get those things off of me. I'd take those heels off. Like the whole thing had to just go. I clipped my nose ring back in, and then I found myself putting on my favorite t-shirt. I'd put on a blazer on top of it. I put my jeans back on and my shoes, whether they were flats or boots or whatever the case may be. But instantly I just felt like, this is way better. That bun made my head hurt, so I swapped it out with a ponytail. And then all of a sudden I felt like my personality returned. It was like, this is me. I feel like me again. And then I had this aha moment that I was trying to be what everyone else was expecting versus showing up for who I really am. It was that moment that I started dressing more like a creative professional, more like me, not like other people. I started wearing my favorite blazer with a graphic t-shirt, my jeans, and my nose ring, friends. I have not taken that thing out in quite some time. It was a little scary at first because I thought people might judge me. They might not want to work with me because I look different than other quote unquote professional people. But then when I started to find out was that the more I dress like myself, the more I talk like myself. And the more I talk like myself, the more I attracted clients that appreciated me for who I was and what I could offer them. I wasn't trying to pretend to be somebody else that I wasn't. I wasn't trying to put on a face, a facade, a stereotype. Because when I was acting and dressing like that, I found that I was more nervous about my presentations. I didn't speak very fluently and confidently about the services that we offered. I got just kind of tripped up on myself and it just felt really bad. And when I left meetings, I didn't feel like I nailed it. I just felt like I was walking out as this imposter that dropped the ball. I went from being uncomfortable in attracting the wrong clients to feeling incredibly confident in attracting the best. There are stereotypes all around us. We're influenced to talk and act and think a certain way based on how everyone else is, and it's an easy trap to get into. And honestly, the truth is, authenticity is contagious. People admire people that are willing to go against the grain and take a risk. By being yourself, you're influencing others to do the same. Can you imagine if we all dressed the same and did business the exact same way? We'd all eventually run out of work and we would look pretty ridiculous. It's the uniqueness that we all bring that creates change, not only in who you are, but how you do business. So I want you to really think about what it is in your business that just really doesn't feel like you. Are you putting on a front feeling like you have to impress someone with a version of yourself that doesn't truly exist? Like, I literally want you to go through your closet. Are the things that you're wearing things that you say hell yes to? Or are they things that you're wearing that you feel like you have to wear because that's what everyone else tells you to do. Now, I understand that there are times and places for different versions of yourself. So if you think about yourself on a scale from couch to ball gown, okay, you have a lot of different variations of yourself based on what you're doing and who you're going to be with. The key here, though, is to stay on brand with yourself and not venture off into what everyone else expects you to be doing. For instance, if you work in a professional atmosphere and you are expected to dress in business casual, the business casual outfits that you wear, I want you to wear things that you feel empowered in, things that speak to you, that make you feel confident and creative and just 100% who you are. If you are going to a huge meeting and you really just need to step up your game and you really need to wear something that's extra professional, whether that is a suit or whether that is a different type of outfit or a dress or whatever it is, make sure that it is on brand with who you are. And when I say on brand, I'm talking about staying true to who you are by being who you are, no matter what version or where you fall on the scale of what it is that you need to be doing. If you're going to like the most extravagant, fancy thing on the planet, which sounds like a lot of fun, choose a dress or a suit or an outfit that just screams who you are. You don't have to wear something sparkly if you hate sparkles just because everyone else is wearing sparkles, right? It's so easy, especially with all the access to all the information and photos in the world that we have today, to look at what everyone else is doing and feel like we have to do that too. And that includes the way that we dress ourselves for business. In the same respect, if it's not a ball that you're going to, but you're staying at home and you're just lounging around all Sunday afternoon, you don't have to have picture perfect matching pajamas with the entire family. I mean, Instagram is incredible. It's my favorite social media platform. But I also know that when I look at a lot of the images that I look at, that most of these images are purposely staged to help grow their business or their presence on Instagram. When you're hanging out at home and you don't have anywhere to go, please don't be perfect because you don't have to be. Wear your old pants that have the big hole down the side of them and the band t-shirt from, going to see someone in 1996 or whatever. You don't have to be what everyone else is pretending to be. The key here is to understand your personal brand scale and where you fall on that based on what you're doing, where you're going, and who you're going to be with. I also want you to look at your business and evaluate where do you feel like you're putting on a front, feeling as though you have to impress someone with a version of yourself that doesn't really exist. Does that mean talking a certain way or acting a certain way or carrying yourself a certain way? In what areas of your life and in business are you pretending or upstaging yourself to be something that you're not authentically being? Are you following a business model that someone else is using but you don't feel connected to? So maybe you have been watching a business that you admire and you're doing something that they are doing, but you just don't feel connected with it. It's not working. It's not getting traction. You just don't feel like it's meant for you, but clearly it's successful for someone else. So it must be successful for you too. I want you to consider cutting some of those things out because if it's not working well and you don't feel emotionally connected and excited to it, it's not going to work anyways. I want you to look at how you are representing your company as well. So are you marketing in a very corporate way when you really are a more laid back company? How are you presenting yourself and your company to the world that feels authentic or not? Are you wearing a maroon suit when you really should be sporting your own unique fashion? Something else to keep in mind too is your look, your personal brand, your business brand, it's going to evolve over the years. So who you are today is not who you were a year ago, and it's probably not who you were 5 years ago. You have evolved your look as a whole. So from time to time, every, let's say 6 months or so, it's a good idea to just kind of take a gander through your closet and evaluate the pieces that you own. It's a good idea to make 3 piles. The first pile are things that you can't live without. These are your staple pieces, things you wear on a regular basis, things that you're excited to wear, things that just make you feel like $1,000,000. The second pile is your upcycle pile. So these are things that you would like to wear. Maybe you haven't worn them for a while because you're not really sure what to do with them, but you feel like they still got a little bit of life in them. Maybe these are things that can either be paired with things that you already have and own and love to create new outfits, or these are things that could be paired with items that you replace older things that you no longer wear with. So these are items that have a lot of potential. These are not the things that like, oh, I've had this t-shirt for so long and I don't really want to get it. No, I'm not talking about that stuff. I'm talking about that shirt or that outfit or that piece that you're like, you know what? I just really like that and I don't really know what to do with it. The third pile, this is the shit that's gotta go, guys. These are the things that are taking up space. You think you're gonna wear them, but you know that you haven't worn them in the last 3 years. They're the things that when you put them on, it just doesn't lay right, it doesn't fit right, you don't feel good in it, but you feel bad getting rid of it. I want you to take that pile and I want you to take it into your community and find a place that you can donate them to. Sometimes there are career closets at your local community colleges. Sometimes there are nonprofit organizations that accept these. I want you to take these pieces and give them to a new home so that you're not only making a positive impact on someone else, but you're also creating space in your own life. You also don't always have to replace all of these items. So you don't have to have this like robust library of things. You can simply have pieces that make you feel amazing. And if that means that you have 4 outfits total, then so be it. If that means you have 200 outfits, that's okay too. To each their own. The key piece here, though, is to set yourself up for success by carrying yourself more confidently, by owning your look and presenting yourself to the world the way that you feel your best. Are you going to have your off days? Yes. Are you going to wake up some days and just things just don't fit right? Absolutely. I swear there was this one morning a couple weeks ago, I swear that someone came into my closet in the middle of the night and changed the seams on everything that I owned because nothing fit right. Now, the next day it was completely fine, but the point is, you're going to have moments and times and you're not always going to feel amazing. And you know what? That's okay too. You don't always have to be completely put together. You don't always have to have everything right. And one of the most beautiful parts about being a human is you don't have to be perfect. All I'm asking of you today is to be willing to show up more like you more frequently. Keep in mind that you get more of what you put out. Think about that. You get more of what you put out. You attract more of the things and the people that you surround yourself with. I donated that ridiculous maroon suit, although I have to tell you, I feel like I'm kicking my ass a little bit because I feel like I should have kept it and hung it on my wall, like Hard Rock Cafe style, when you're sitting there eating like a big sloppy burger and there's like Elvis's outfit hanging on the wall above you. I feel like I should have kept the suit, but it is what it is. Maybe one of these days I'll find another one. The point is, today I am sporting me, and that works. In fact, as I look down at myself right now, and this was not planned by any means, today I am sporting a graphic t-shirt with a blazer, a pair of jeans, and black and white striped shoes, and I couldn't feel more like myself today than what I do right now. You've got big things to do, so let's get in your closet, tidy some of that stuff out of there, and get back into the world representing yourself more like you every day. Thanks for joining me on this week's episode of the Gutsy Podcast. Be sure to join me on Thursday for our Power Back session as we talk about other people's successes and how to use that as fuel for your fire.